Microsoft Azure, brought to you by
Lindsay Irwin,
Alex Spruill,
Matt Dembinski,
and Josh Tapasio.
Just what is Azure? Microsoft Azure is an ever-expanding set of cloud services to help your organization meet your business challenges. It's the freedom to build, manage, and deploy applications on a massive global network using your favorite tools and frameworks. It's a cloud computing service created by Microsoft for building, testing, deploying, and managing applications and services through a global network of Microsoft-managed data centers. It provides software as a service, platform as a service, and infrastructure as a service, as well as supports many different programming languages, tools and frameworks, including both Microsoft-specific and third-party software and systems. Why is Azure the right choice? Develop and deploy where you want, with the only consistent hybrid on the market. Extend Azure on-premises with Azure Stack. Create intelligent apps using powerful data and artificial intelligence services. Join startups, governments, and 90% of Fortune 500 businesses who run on the Microsoft Cloud today. Azure has over 50 global regions, more than any other cloud provider. Here are some questions about Azure. Is Azure secure? Yes. Security and privacy are built into the Azure platform. Microsoft is committed to the highest levels of trust, transparency, standards conformance, and regulatory compliance with the most comprehensive set of compliance offerings of any cloud service provider. Will Azure work for my industry? Azure provides solutions for all industries. Bring together cloud services and products tailored for your industry to help meet your specific needs and drive innovation. Is it only for Windows apps and services? No. Azure supports open source technologies, so you can use the tools and technologies you prefer. Run virtually any application using your data source with your operating system on your device. With Azure, you have choices. How does Azure compare to other clouds? Azure is the only consistent hybrid cloud, has more regions than any other cloud provider, delivers unparalleled developer productivity, and offers more comprehensive compliance coverage, including meeting the requirements of the General Data Protection Regulation. Will Azure really save me money? With no upfront cost, you only pay for what you use. Azure provides flexible purchasing and pricing options for all your cloud scenarios, such as the Azure Hybrid benefit, and offers extensive tools to help manage your cloud spend. Can I try Azure services? Of course. Create an Azure free account to learn how Azure works, try products and cloud services, and view tutorials on how to deploy your first solution in 10 minutes or less.
So now we're going to take a second to do a quick walkthrough of the offerings on the Microsoft Azure portal. So this is the landing page, which is a dashboard which is completely customizable. So if you go up here to edit, you can add various things that give you a wider idea of the applications and services that you have through Azure. So for example, if I wanted to see how a web service or app service was performing, I could pull over this requests and errors and then configure tile and select whatever web application I want this information on and I want to stay up to date on. And then I can also do the same for an example SQL database that I've made to see how much of the database is full, maybe if it's getting too full, if I need to expand it, etc. And then lastly, I can pull the information about the virtual machine that I've created. So I can see the percentage of CPU it's been using over the last hour and make the adjustments necessary in order to fix that or change that or whatever you need to have done. So it's super nice that Azure gives you that flexibility to customize a dashboard so that as soon as you open the portal, you can have a clear idea of the basis of your company and what changes need to be made, what needs to be done. So we're only going to go into two other important components of the Azure portal. One of these are these services here on the left side. All of these services that you can see are the favorites. And if you want to see all of the services available, you can click all services. So they're currently separated by category. So if you were interested in containers, you could scroll to this containers category and look at what those options are. You can also filter here at the top to cut down on those things that you actually want to look for. So if I wanted to see things with app in it, I was looking for app services, etc., I can look up app and it'll show me all of those containing app. Or if I wanted to make a virtual machine, I could search virtual and it would give me flexibility to see all of those options to do with anything virtual. Additionally, if you wanted to not see things sorted by category, but instead sorted by the alphabet, you can click sort by name, and it will cut down all of these according to whatever your name or the first letter. The last aspect within this portal is the marketplace, which is probably the most important, since that gives you flexibility to go to and upload and download pretty much anything your heart desires to do with the cloud. So here are just an example of those options, those popular options that there are. There are many different applications, both from Microsoft and even other third parties, that you can integrate through Azure. The Azure Marketplace offers technical solutions and services from Microsoft and partners built to extend Azure products and services. The solution catalog spans several industry categories, including, but not limited to, base operating systems, databases, security, and identity, networking, blockchain, developer tools, and more. Azure Marketplace offers SaaS applications, virtual machines, solution templates, and Azure Managed Applications. Everything you need to build, deploy, and manage applications at scale on Azure. So that's all I have for this review of Azure and the Azure portal.
I teach a little bit about Microsoft Azure. And right here, you have me at my dashboard. So I've already created an account. You can get them for free. I'll show you how to walk through that as well. And also, we're going to talk a little bit about each of these, maybe not all of them, but just dive into a little bit of what each of these things can do and the different resources you can create and what you can do with Microsoft Azure. So first, we're going to start with just right here. You can go get a free account if you don't already have one. You just type in that, and then it's the first link. Either one works. And if you wanted to, you can start now, and it's free. And what you get 12 months for the popular free services. And there's a couple, well, as it says, 25 different things that you can do that we'll kind of explore in a little bit. They give you $200 credit for the first 30 days just to try it all out. And these are some different things you can do. You can spin up a Linux virtual machine, a Windows virtual machine, get some databases or just simply some file storage. And there's a ton of tutorials online on what to do and where to go. And so we're just going to walk through, we'll probably walk through the first one of just spinning up a virtual machine. You go up here to create a resource. And from here you can search. There's a ton of different things you can do with Azure. But we're going to go just right here to Windows Server 2016 VM. It's kind of a little self-explanatory. You have your subscription account or students, and so it's free for those first $200. You can start a name. There can be no spaces, so we'll just say trial machine. And they give you a little pop-up to make sure it fits its criteria. And we're going to go to West US, West US, West US 2. It's just a different region for availability. No infrastructure is required. We're going to stay on our Windows server. And then for username, there's also criteria. We'll just do something like this. And password has to be pretty complex. So just make up something that's pretty good. And to show you, it's just this criteria. And then for the tutorial, we're going to allow selected ports. And then we're going to switch it to RDP. as well as SSH, and that's going to allow you to SSH in and a remote desktop protocol so you can access it remotely, and it just kind of lets you know that, hey, you got to make sure you update blah, 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 blah. And then lastly, you just say no to this, and then you go and click create, and then you are done, and you spun up a virtual machine. It's that easy. All right, thanks. Virtual machine is deployed. It'll take you right to the screen. It took me about a little bit over 4.5 minutes for mine to fully deploy. And you can could go to resources, and it'll take you right to this like this page. And from here, it gives you a couple different diagnostic tools. You can check up on it when you go into this is my trial machine that we created, and you can just get a ton of data on it. And you just simply, to connect to it, you go to connect, and it'll give you the RDP information, or it'll give you the SSH information. And so this is for terminal line or command line. And then this is to remote desktop in. And since we allowed that for this machine, you just click the download file. I've already downloaded it, and so it'll show up in your downloads folder. For Mac users, you need to download this Microsoft Remote Desktop, and it works perfectly with this RDP. It's like a .rdp file. So all you do is you simply click in, and the remote desktop that I downloaded will just fire it up. And it's like, you're connected, do you trust this? It's your machine, so you click yes. And it just kind of goes through, and then now you can log in with the username you created in the initial page. And it just boots right in, and there you go. And then you can do as you wish with this virtual machine. It's currently in the cloud, and it's like 12 cents an hour, I think is what it costs. We read that when we first signed in, and have some fun with it. Thanks for watching, y'all.
Azure, cloud for all.